Fallout has boomed since the recent success of the show on Amazon, and with it, many new faces have come to play the old games. One character sticks out from the rest, and in today's video, I'm going to draw the iconic character of the Master from Fallout.
Okie dokie.
We need one race.
Race.
One goal.
Goal.
One people.
As a reference, I'm using the Master Transcendent from the Magic the Gathering card game. The artist is Javier Caro, and he has done numerous illustrations for Wizard of the Coast and has an incredible portfolio on his website, which I'll put in the description. As you can see, the original images are really blurry, and it's mainly because the game is 30 years old. Now, back when I was a teen and I was looking at these graphics, I thought they were astounding, but they don't really hold up and transition that well into today's artwork. But what we can do is reimagine it in our own style. And that's why I'll be using Javier's work. It's got a real quality to it, a certain painterly aspect. And what I mean by that is when you look at his digital artwork, it looks as if it was painted by an oil brush. You can see the movement and the transition, the bright, vibrant colors. It's not there in the older classical games where you can see these choppy, almost polygon-esque images throughout. One of the biggest questions that I'm often asked is what art supplies I use. And for this particular piece, I use both a Tombow brush pen and I also use a Sakura Japanese brush pen. Now this gives me a completely different line weight, and that's something I can go over in a future video, but basically it'll give me either a thin or thick line or a smoother transition depending upon which brush I use. The Tombows are really good for line work and for finer line details, while the Sakura bigger brush pens are really good for the shading and the large volume of ink. One of the biggest struggles that I had with this piece is trying to get in all the little details into such a small space. You see, with any digital work, you can zoom in. You can almost zoom in indefinitely depending upon the quality of the tablet and program that you're running. But here, you can only zoom in as far as the pen will take you and as far as your eye will take you. So you really have to pick and choose your spots with inking. It becomes a very precise but very pleasurable experience if you master it correctly. One of the aspects that I really love about inking and also black and grays is the permanence of it. When a line is down, it's down. There's no backing out. There's no hitting the eraser button. It is very hard to transition a mistake. And that is something that I absolutely love, especially when you're working with such a small image like this, which is only 6.5 by 11. Your lines better be precise because they can be ever so slightly off and you can make a huge misfire. And another thing too is inking can be so gratifying because you don't even need to add color a lot of times. If you work in black and grays or if you just work with contour lines or hatching, you can create a masterful 3D emulated image without any necessity for coloring. Sometimes I'll actually just choose not to use any color at all because I love the way the overall image will come out. But let me know what you think, because sometimes people like color and sometimes people like, a little bit of black and gray. It all depends, to each their own. But for those of you who do like color and do want to see me use color, here's some coloring tips. When working with color, work slowly. Work evenly. Don't rush it. There's no point to rush anything in art. It should be actually the funnest experience is to take your time and add those little details with coloring. Now, some marker artists will bounce back and forth between similar colors and try to achieve a highly rendered 3D look. That's not necessarily what I like. I like working in layers. I like working almost as an oil painter, applying my tonals first in black and gray and then layering gently over the top with colors, but still giving that harsh impressionist look. I'm not a fan of highly rendered stuff. I love looking at it. I cherish artists that do it. That is just not what I can do. My brain really can't hold that much attention for 20, 30, 40, 50 hours on a singular thing. I need to be bouncing between several projects at once. In fact, numerous times when I create my shorts, I'm sitting there and I'm only creating a little bit at one time, and then I may be bouncing to another piece and then come back to that short and then finish the recording on it. Now, normally for an impressionist style, the colors would be very bright and very vibrant with the shadow play of light and dark, but because of the subject matter and because of the creature that the master is, I try to keep it very muted. If you'd like to learn more about the Master, who he is and how he became what he is, I'm going to put a link in the description for Synonymous, who does amazing lore throughs. I mean, he gets millions of views. His videos are amazingly detailed, and if you're a Fallout aficionado or a Fallout fan like myself, then you absolutely have to watch his content because it is incredible. I think this just about captures the essence of the Master while keeping it my own, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe for future videos, and let me know what other characters you'd like me to do in detail like this. And until then, I'll see you all next time.